This is quite disturbing. Sheik Gumi of all people stepping in for Nnamdi Kanu. This is something that is disturbing and we will not allow to stay. You're welcome back once again, and truly I want to start this video by saying that wonders shall never end in this country. Wonders shall never end in the things that actually happen in this particular country that we found ourselves in. Because every single day something new appears, something strange surfaces, something unbelievable rises up, and you begin to ask yourself how these things are even possible. Sincerely speaking, guys, seeing Sheikh Gumi, a man who is openly known, a man who is clearly associated with uh, a man who has been described repeatedly as a terrorist sympathizer, stepping in and talking boldly about Nnamdi Kanu release is something that is alarming, something that is shocking, something that is disturbing on every level. Now I'm going to be showing you what Sheikh Gumi came out recently to make as a statement, and I'm going to be showing you what he said, what he declared, what he dropped publicly, not regarding, and not even being afraid of the fact that he is actually a terrorist sympathizer. He spoke boldly as if nothing was wrong. He spoke boldly as if this country has no laws. He spoke boldly as if we are in the land where anything can go without any repercussion coming through. Now guys, you really need to look at Gumi moving freely. Look at him walking, look at him attending interviews. This is somebody you know, somebody who the entire country knows, somebody who has dined and wined with a set of bandits, with a set of terrorists, with a set of people that have taken lives, that have caused harm, that has caused destruction, that have brought insecurity, that have created fear in the hearts of so many persons. This is someone who has sat with them comfortably. This is someone who has acted as their voice. Yet this same person had the infantry to even compare situations, to even make conditions, to even state boldly that Nnamdi Kanu will be released if he steps in. And not only that, but he also gave conditions of what Nnamdi Kanu should do before he will go to call for his release. Look at Sheikh Gumi making this type of statement, like him talking as if he has any moral platform to speak. You know, this shows how unlawful a lot of things that have become in this country. This shows how things are just made anyhow. This shows how things are just declared anyhow. It shows how things are allowed to happen as if we are living in a place with no rule of law in application. It is obvious that Justice James is actually the one that is causing all of this. Yeah, he caused this. He's the one that has given the vital platform, the boldness, the confidence, the infantry, and the enabling environment for someone like Gumi to come out and make this type of statements. Now I'm going to be showing you what he said. I will show you plainly that you will understand what is happening and how Justice James has created this situation by bedding injustice in this particular judgment and giving this man the confidence to speak publicly. I will play the video for you to hear clearly what he stated, and I'll play it so that when we come back, we will begin to dissect everything he has said and then wrap up other issues in this particular video.
The question is, let's look at the perpetrators, which you advocate for. Allow me to use the word. Do you think we should even be having a conversation with them, especially those who are killing and driving a genocidal agenda? We can maybe have a conversation around economic conversation.
Okay, first, I'm not advocating for them. I'm advocating for Nigeria so that we see how we can tackle this menace. Let me tell you, just now, children are kidnapped in Kebbi State. Then there's in Kwara. Then there's in this place. Bauchi is afraid. Yeah, with such number of outlaws that can disorganize Nigeria, and you want a military that is trained to fight a guerrilla war, which even America could not even succeed in Afghanistan. Even Israel cannot succeed in a small strip of land. A guerrilla war, our army is not designed for a guerrilla war. No army is designed for that. This kind of people we are showing now. No army is designed for it. So since we have people that are ready to put down their arms, then why do you always decide it has to be kinetic? Let me give, for example, now this Kanu that was imprisoned for terrorism, for agitating that our soldiers should be killed. If the same Kanu now will show remorse and also call for peace, honestly, I will be in the forefront in calling for his pardoning and amnesty for him. Look, Shagari, our president, we are from the same, actually, town, or in fact, related with Shagari. He gave amnesty to Ojukwu.
Yes, guys, you heard him clearly. You heard Gumi say that if Nnamdi Kanu shows remorse, if he shows any form of remorse, he's going to, if he comes to him, if he appeals to him, if he begs him, that means if he asks him to step in, then he will stand in the forefront of calling for his pardon. Imagine, just imagine hearing this in a country that claims to be governed by laws. Imagine seeing someone like Gumi talking boldly about who deserves pardon and who does not. This is not a lawless country, if I must say. It is a country where terrorist sympathizers, someone that is supposed to have been arrested a long while ago, someone who is supposed to be detained so that he will point out terrorists and their hideouts. He is now the one speaking boldly and attending press conferences, attending interviews, making statements that are uncalled for, statements that have no moral basis or whatsoever. A lot of persons started reacting, a lot of persons started expanding, interpreting, trying to understand the weight of the statement made by Sheik Gumi. And it is unfortunate that this is what we see in this particular country. This is what happens when Justice James has twisted the law, bent the law, and has created a platform of injustice that is now affecting everything around this case. And the importance of that judgment is clear. That is why Gumi came out speaking like that. If the judgment had not been issued, he would not have come out to make this statement. Now, as you can see on your screen, the press statement by Prince Emmanuel on behalf of the family of Nnamdi Kanu clearly explained everything. They said this judgment was an ambush. They said it was a complete denial of fair hearing. They said it was an affront to the Constitution, and they issued the statement earlier on with a heavy heart but with absolute clarity. They said what happened in the courtroom before Justice James was not justice, it was an ambush. After months of legal arguments, after submission citing Section 3612 of the Constitution, after referencing Supreme Court authorities, after making plain submissions that a repealed law cannot be used to convict anyone, Justice James ignored everything and convicted Nnamdi Kanu on repealed and non-existing law. This is unprecedented, actually. This is unconstitutional. It is a violation of fair hearing. It is an insult to judicial principles. Now, they went further to explain the entire judgment. A judgment cannot ambush an accused after hearing has closed. Once parties conclude argument, the judge cannot introduce new legislation, new statutes, new grounds of conviction on the judgment day. And that is exactly what Justice James did. He introduced a transition and saving clause, a clause nobody argued, a clause nobody raised, a clause nobody addressed, and he used it to overturn the Constitution itself. This is ambush jurisprudence. This is not law. The Supreme Court has repeatedly, countless times, that repealed statutes cannot sustain conviction, that no person shall be convicted unless the offense is defined in written law in force. But Justice James contradicted the Constitution, he contradicted the Supreme Court, he contradicted his own oath. That is why Nnamdi Kanu was shouting furiously, "Show me the law," because the law does not exist. Then, the family went on further to state the explanatory facts of this particular judgment, and when you look at it clearly, you begin to understand the depth of what they are trying to say. They explain that a judgment cannot ambush an accused person after hearing has closed. Savings clause applies only to cases pending at the time. Nnamdi Kanu's matter was not pending. The Court of Appeal discharged him completely. Federal government filed new charges before Justice James. A case that no longer exists cannot be saved by a savings clause. Now, is Justice James now saying that a non-derogable right can be derogated from? Right to fair hearing is non-derogable. Section 36 is clear. The Constitution is supreme. The Supreme Court is binding. No judge can overturn either. Yet, these judgments attempted to override all three. The family of Nnamdi Kanu, however, has insisted that the judgment is unconstitutional, it is void, it cannot stand. They will file an appeal within the 90 days window, but the federal government has now transferred Nnamdi Kanu to Sokoto, not for security but to create frustration and hardship during the appeal process. Nnamdi Kanu has told his lawyers to step aside, yet has not called new ones. This complicates his appeal timeline and his enemies are using it. Now, This is why Sheik Gumi's statement is dangerous after I've explained all this. Gumi openly sympathizes with terrorists. He knows their hideouts. His son is in the military. He says these things boldly without fear, yet a man who speaks about marginalization of his people is the one transported to Sokoto prison. This is why they say the law appears to target only the southeast. Now, guys, let's react in the comment section. So we continue to pray for Nnamdi Kanu. At this point in time, God is the one that needs to be called upon. He's the only one who can help us. So quickly rush on to like, share, and subscribe. Type freedom for Nnamdi Kanu in the comment. Stay updated as we continue to bring you the truth. For now, you should watch Sheik Gumi's interview live and direct, so you know what I mean by saying that he was too bold to come out and make such statements.
Do you think we should even be having a conversation with them, especially those who are killing and driving a genocidal agenda? We can maybe have a conversation around economic conversation.
Okay, first, I'm not advocating for them. I'm advocating for Nigeria so that we see how we can tackle this menace. Let me tell you, just now, children are kidnapped in Kebbi State. Then there's in Kwara. Then there's in this place. Bauchi is afraid. Yet, with such number of outlaws that can disorganize Nigeria, and you want a military that is trained to fight a guerrilla war, which even America could not even succeed in Afghanistan. Even Israel cannot succeed in a small strip of land. A guerrilla war, our army is not designed for a guerrilla war. No army is designed for that. This kind of people we are showing now. No army is designed for it. So since we have people that are ready to put down their arms, then why do you always decide it has to be kinetic? Let me give, for example, now this Kanu that was in prison for terrorism, for agitating that our soldiers should be killed. If the same Kanu now will show remorse and also call for peace, honestly, I will be in the forefront in calling for his pardoning and amnesty for him. Look, Shagari, our president, we are from the same actually town, or in fact related with Shagari. He gave amnesty to Ojukwu.
Now, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.